This is section 2.2, point slope form, day 1. So we've already talked about slope-intercept form. Remember, it's y equals mx plus b, where m represents our slope and b represents our y-intercept. Today we're going to talk about point slope form, which is another way of writing an equation of a line. It's just going to look different. So when I talk about the different forms, okay, point slope is one, slope intercept is another one, and later we're going to talk about standard form. All these forms are just different ways of saying the same thing. So it's like if you're talking in English, and then you say the same thing in Spanish, and then you say the same thing in German. All three mean the same thing. Their sound and look different. That's all it is. So point slope form, we use it when we have a point and a slope. Okay, so slope intercept, you needed a slope and a y-intercept. Point slope form, you need a point and a slope. You can also do it with 2 points and use the 2 points to find the slope. But anyway, our form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So consistency, we keep m as slope. So m is still representing slope, don't have to worry about that. But then our y1 and our x1, those come from a point. Okay, so this y and this x are going to stay the same, but these two numbers come from a point. So let's look at some examples. Write the equation of the line passing through the point with the given slope. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So here, y minus our y value, which is 3, equals m is 1/4, x minus x1, which is -8. And then I know that minus a negative is adding a positive, so I'm going to change that to y minus 3 equals 1/4 x plus 8. Another way to figure out like what symbol is going to go here and here, notice that it's always the opposite of what the number is. So like this is a negative number, so we did plus 8. This is a positive 3, so we did minus 3. Okay, so it's the opposite. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so y minus -1 becomes plus 1 equals -2 x minus 3, which is our x value. And last example, y minus 0 equals -2/3 x minus 4. Subtracting 0 doesn't do anything, so we can forget about it, and we just get y equals -2/3 x minus 4. So let's look at what happens when we're given 2 points. So in those examples, we were given a slope and a point. Now we're going to be given 2 points. So we have 2 different options. We can use point slope or slope intercept form. I will do an example of both of them, but I just want to focus more on the point slope today. So I'm going to look at this first example here. So we're going to use the points 1, 2, and 3, -2. So let's do it the first way. So looking at point slope. The first thing we're going to do is find the slope of the line, which we figured out how to do earlier. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We get -4 over 2, which is -2. All right, so we found the slope of a line. Good there. Now we want to use the slope and one of the points to write slope in point slope form. So it doesn't matter which one you pick, which point you pick. You could pick 1, 2, you could pick 3, -2. It's going to end up being the same thing. So what I'm going to do is so if I pick the first one, it'll look like y minus 2 equals -2 times x minus 1. But it's also correct if you said y minus a -2 is plus 2 equals -2 x minus 3. So they look different, but I promise I'm not lying to you when I tell you that they actually mean the same thing. It doesn't matter which point you pick, it's up to you. You do whatever one you want. So let's look at what it looks like in using slope-intercept form. Personally, I think the point slope is easier, but some people like the slope-intercept form. So same thing, we're going to find the slope of the line, which we said was -2. I'm not going to do it again because we already know. And then we need to use the slope and one of the points to write the slope-intercept equation and find the y-intercept. So our slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. We already know our m. We don't know our b. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the equations. So I'm going to pick, or one of our points, and I'm going to pick the first one. And I know that 1 is an x value, so I'm going to put that in for x. And 2 is a y value, so I'm going to put that in for y. So 2 equals -2 times 1 plus b, and then we just solve for b. 2 equals -2 plus b, add 2, 4 equals b. Then we now have our slope, and we have a y-intercept, and we can just write y equals -2x plus 4. Like I said, I think the point slope option is less work, and I kind of like it more, but if you like the slope-intercept way, that's totally okay with me as well. All right, let's do one more example. Write the equation of the line through the given points. I want to look at the second example here. So when we say f of 4 equals -2, that actually means we just have the point 4, -2. And when we have f of 8 equals 4, that just gives us the point 8, 4. So I'm going to do it the point slope way. So the first thing I need to do is find the slope. So 4 minus -2 over 8 minus 4. Minus negative is adding a positive, so we have 6 over 4, 6 over 4, which is equal to 3 over 2. I'm going to pick this point, just because I want to, and I'm going to write my equation. Y minus 4 equals 3 over 2, x minus 8. And that's it. So the Student Council is offering customized foam hands to promote school spirit. The table shows the cost of ordering different numbers of foam hands. Can the situation be modeled by a linear equation? And if possible, write that equation. So to know if it's linear or not, we need to see if the cost per foam hand stays consistent or if it goes up by the same amount each time. So when I look, to go from 4 to 6, I add 2. Same thing from 6 to 8, I add 2, and the pattern continues. So since that pattern is pretty even and straightforward, that it stays the same, if it's linear, the y's are going to stay the same. So to get from 34 to 46, I know that I have to add 12. Let's see if that's true for the rest of them. So 46 to 58 is also adding 12. 58 to 7 is also adding 12. And 70 to 82 is also adding 12. So we know it's linear because it has a constant rate or a constant slope. Now all we need to do is find the equation. So first thing, I'm going to find the slope. So m equals 46, I'm going to pick these first 2 points just because I want to. You can pick any 2 points, it doesn't matter. So 46 minus 34 over 6 minus 4, which is 12 over 2, which is just 6. And then you can pick any of those 5 points that you want. I'm just going to go with the first one. So y minus 34 equals 6 times x minus 4. And that is a linear equation to represent the cost of foam hands.